Wave hi, Shiloh. Hi. I'm going out here to see what's going on in the shed. It's actually graduation weekend for Todd, so Grandpa's here visiting and working on the shed here. The garage mahal, excuse me. We're going to go in and see what's going on. May have to come out when the light's better, but I'm trying to put these panels up. Oh, that one's uneven.
We're about ready to use our jack, so you kind of riding at a good time.
I'm good.
Can you see there?
Jack's going to use the jack?
Hmm?
Jack's going to use the jack?
Yeah.
I bought some of that bug stuff if you need any.
You do good. They don't bother us in here, though.
Oh.
You don't have to climb up there.
You want the little ladder?
Yes.
I want to play my swing.
Oh,
Yeah.
get 'em in.
Yeah. Quick reach up there.
You land on your head.
These are little spacers, so we can have some room for expansion and contraction.
Yeah.
Get that torn piece of paper out there. Well, let's do a dry run here, just see if it snugs up there.
Okay.
Kind of even.
Can you see something
Mm-hmm.
in your camera?
That's my cat. Hey, my doggy. Hi, Shiloh. Yeah.
Frame's tipping towards the wall now. Lifting off the floor here at the back. There's a weight coming on here. I think we're all right.
Shiloh. Yeah. You're my dog. You're my doggy. You are. Shiloh.
More underneath that so we don't have to crank the loose.
Shiloh.
Yeah.
Shiloh.
Pull away
Stop
from
it.
the wall. We need to block the jack so it doesn't back up.
Lock this thing in now. Lock the casters.
You should put a paw on me.
You put a paw on you.
Yeah.
Put it on the jack and swing him out as it goes up.
slide the base of this in? Or?
I think so. About a half inch, huh?
It's nice and straight in terms of the seam.
Yeah.
Thickness over here. Okay, right, so,
That's pretty close. Stop at the trusses, sure. You're just right on the windowsill here.
yeah.
You might want to.
See if you can push this over so it won't hang over that.
Okay. Get it.
Close all the way up or something. Kinda like that. Mm-hmm. Now, how much?
Where'd we go today?
What?
Where'd we go today?
And Todd information
We was baccalaureate service today, didn't we?
church church thingy.
We got fun.
Yeah, that's fine.
Then what did we do? What did we came home and had a big supper, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's Dad and Grandpa doing? What are we watching them do now?
And my dad and grandpa and that big wall.
Putting the wall up, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think these little things got knocked off. I'm not sure. Yeah, we don't have.
And then you went home and you opened presents for like 4 hours. Remember that?
Yeah.
And you could barely hold your phone. You're so tired of opening presents, but you still did.
begin this afternoon? In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Help us get to this point. I like to thank God by whom all things are possible. I like to thank all of the teachers, staff, and the board of directors. But most of all, I like to thank the parents, many of whom sacrificed to give us a Christian education. They love us, support us, and guide us as we learn and grow up.
This song explains that to everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. It is meant to describe the many vast and different experiences that we will each have in our lifetimes, and there's a time for everything, even if that time is not now. The song names a time to be born and a time to die, things that are not under our control, but that we must accept. It says there will be a time to game when you feel.
We are honored today to have with us a former student who attended the first 3 years of the school's existence, attending his freshman, sophomore, and junior year. Parent of a current graduate, assistant director at Camp Silka, soon to be seminary student in St. Louis, and friend to the class of 2008. It is my honor to introduce to you Mr. Kevin Belton.
Well, this is it. You guys ready? You guys ready? No? No? All right. I feel kind of weird because usually when I talk to you guys, I have a guitar in my hands, and usually for chapel. Although this does kind of remind me of chapel the old days when half you guys were on this side and half you were on that side. But how many of you guys have senioritis? Senioritis over here? Okay, senioritis over here. All right. Today is the cure. Today you guys are getting the cure. All right. But our son Aaron had senioritis, and well, he still does, I'm sure. And but we decided we're going to have a bonfire to kind of celebrate here at the end and roast some hot dogs, whatever. And he's excited about the hot dogs and everything, but he's also excited that he gets to start the bonfire with a lot of his old homework assignments. So, but I'm proud to be in the first freshman class at Lutheran High. It's been a while here. And, a lot of people think that Lutheran High is small now, but you need to be back, back then we only had about 31 students. And so there's a lot of, it was a smaller school then. Back then, I noticed yesterday at rehearsal that there's like 13 microwave ovens in the cafeteria. We only had one, and I think it was a like one of those toaster oven things. I don't know if microwaves were invented back then, but anyway, back then I had Mrs. Devine as a teacher. Only back then she was known as Miss Bartles, and the principal was Mr. Nitz, and instead of a beard, he had a mustache back then, and. Mrs. Walker and Rich Harkins were students about that time, and that was actually back when Rich had hair, so big old afro, okay? Amazing. So, but I brought with me my Lutheran High yearbook, and see, back then the school was so small that it actually took us 3 years to fill up one yearbook. This is all my first 3 years of high school here, so all in one book. But back then it was small that you could actually get involved in a lot of activities. I was involved with Joyful Noise and with student council and basketball, baseball, and soccer. And, not only was it, were we able to be involved with so many activities, but I think, I don't know, they probably should have re-required it because it was, it was so many small numbers there. But it was fun being at the beginning here. We got to pick out the school mascot, the Crusaders and all that. We got to pick out the school colors, but originally it was blue, white, and silver, which shortly got changed to gray, and then the gray got dropped. So it's blue and white now. Back then, I remember playing, one of my favorite memories is playing basketball against my cousin, Dennis Ryan. He was over at New Berlin High School, and it was kind of different playing over there because we were used to a gym where you had to stop once you got to...
Mr. Chairman, the students hereafter to be named by me have completed the graduation requirements as indicated by the Board of Directors of the Lutheran High School Association and are, therefore, eligible to receive their high school diploma. Sherry Elizabeth Todd Carl Davis. Daniel Allen Fletcher. Nathan Andrew Garner. Melissa Sue Garwood. Carrie Michelle Gerberding. We also now give them the direction to demonstrate their accomplishment to others through the traditional shift of the tassel and reversal of the ring. Graduates, you are hereby directed to move your tassel from the left side to the right and to turn your clasped ring so that the world may now read it. Rena Harris, please come forward. Rena, Mrs. Harris, has been with us for the last 9 years. and a small tribute and a thank you for her many years of faithful dedication and ministry, we like to present this. It says, "We thank God for Rena Harris."
I just want you all to know what an honor and a privilege and a blessing it's been for me these last years to be part of Lutheran High School's family, and of course I'll stay a part of that family. Thank you.
On behalf also of Lutheran High School, we wish to express again our thanks to Mr. Kevin Deltman for the message this afternoon.
Good afternoon. Mr. Beltman, I also would like to thank you for your message and wish you Godspeed in your studies at the seminary, as just like these people, you're going off to learn more, and we wish you the best. Mr. Dunsing, I would be remiss if I did not thank you for all of your organization, your work this year, your organization for graduation today. You have been a great partner, and I thank God for you. I would also advise you that you may want to consider retirement because it's downhill from here. Especially like to congratulate the graduates. You have achieved this particular...
I was on standby. I didn't get that. You're gone.
12 hours to like milk. And so I'm just gonna get the last little piece of juice out of them and then be throw them away. I gotta find a place to recycle them. Now I understand you can't just throw these in a landfill.
Probably drop them off a Radio Shack.
Oh yeah,
No, that's
that'd
right.
be convenient.
That's right next door. You have a.
Or,
She works right next door to Radio Shack.
do you have Ace Hardware out here?
Yeah.
They get one of those.
I think they recycle.
Oh, good to know.
I just take them and throw them in the trash.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, throw them under the counter.
We can do that. Happy graduation to Todd. Happy graduation to Todd. Happy graduation, Todd. Happy graduation to Todd. Did I get this one? Did I get the big one? Okay. 40 years down the road, you can laugh
I
about it.
know it is.
Shh. Yeah. You don't tell.
What is it?
No, she does know. She just said it. But don't tell until it gets it open.
Oh. It's playtime.
It's pajamas.
Oh, it's not. Not a Jamie's.
Oh, you took this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool.
Alright, I know what it is.
You said you were going to do this for me.
Sometime, yeah. Look at the mat on there. Look how cool that looks.
So what, the border?
Yeah, it looks like basketball, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really neat.
You can pass it to Dad so he can see it.
Ah, I know what it is, Todd.
Now you tell him.
These are...
Okay, it
See,
is
this
that.
was the one I had.
I'll
Right?
press the
Yeah.
Todd.
Didn't recognize one of them.
Yeah, that's one you had that I... You go get the rest of them if you... I'll make you bring them over.
My next.
You can open the one on the... Sarah wants to open hers. That's hers. Yeah.
This one feels like a book.
This one's Jamie's.
No, not. No, it's not Jamie's.
Oh, no.
What's it say on the front?
Alright, I just did it.
Cap
Cap down,
freedom bell.
freedom bound.
And it's hallelujah.
I think so. Better than chicken song.
Ay, pero Todd.
It's a dictionary.
Yeah, you might need it. It's also a thesaurus. You know what that is? Okay. I need that
Made
too.
of paper. This is not online, Todd. This is a book.
Right, yeah. That's to go with you. That's Mom and Dad. Mm-hmm.
I didn't tell you about it. College done.
Okay, you speak to college? Yeah, you have to take college.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
Is that to a new BMW?
Yeah. There's no car attached to that one.
I had one from Grandpa, I think. And it broke.
Yeah, the little,
Yeah.
the latch thing broke on it. But,
That's good. I'll put them on there.
well, not yet.
Not yet?
I was going to put something on the back.
What?
You just don't put it on there yet. Yeah, it's engraved on the front, but I was going to put something on the back. So we'll do that next week.
Other new wallets?
Another? No, what did I do to your other one?
You did wash it. It's not fine.
Well, yeah, it's kind of weird though, but I thought
This
you
is a
might.
nice one.
Well, it's nice that yours used. I mean, that comes out, but yours used to be soft like that. After you wash it once, it kind of spoils it. So
Well, thanks.
you're welcome.
Just don't wash it.
Well, no, that's pretty good in all those years. That's the first time, but it's just that you change clothes right, and I just happened to just write immediately. You usually take them out right away. That's Grandpa and Shirley. That's from Grandpa and Shirley.
Just in case you have to wake up on time.
I imagine I will. I'll use them.
It's small, so you don't take up a lot of room. Didn't want to take Big Ben over there or something, you know.
Also, there's a toaster built in.
And that's also from Grandpa and Shirley.
What?
The wind's blowing.
Oh.
If I put the table on the other end, that would have not blown.
It's already in a present.
Grandpa made that. Grandpa and Shirley made that. Yeah.
Thank you.
So what is that? That little case?
Spin it up there, unwrap it, yeah.
It's a journal.
Oh, nice.
You gotta write inside of it to fill out the pages. We don't add printed pages to it, just a blank, so it's up to you. to
Good. Very
fill it
nice.
out.
That is neat.
I love journals. I'm on got my 5th one.
Oh,
I like the leather. That's cool.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he
Smells good.
cut it and sewed it. And,
Nice.
Started with the cow, didn't you?
yeah,
I
Dad.
found a pretty good looking one out in the backyard.
yeah.
We had a deer drinking out of our septic this morning.
A deer, really?
Yeah.
Is that good for him?
Didn't hurt.
Hmm.
Oh, but I missed the card.
Yeah, I think that one's from Joan.
Who's this from?
Joan, I think. You'll probably find out when you open it.
Not that you'll ever use it, but there it is.
I'll call him every night.
No, I want him to plug in his phone some numbers so he could put maths in there too. So he'd have it.
Thanks.
That's it.
That's it. Party's over, I
Well,
guess.
that was a lot quicker than the other one, I remember. Yay.
Yeah, I remember one that went on. It went on all night.
Dragged on a while.
It did. It was like, I looked at my watch, it's at midnight, and it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and she was like leaning over, like opening one hand.
Yeah, we had
You hours.
when we came back from your graduation. Of course, it was night, and it was already what 9:30 or 10 time we got back here. So it did. It went on forever and ever.
I can't do my head at that.
You were about half asleep while you were opening your presents. We're gonna try it. Really bad. Going for a swim? Oh, there's a little tadpole. No.
What?
There's a little tadpole swimming down there. You went
That
under.
green blob there a frog or is that?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that will be kind of hard doing the stairs, won't it, at the bottom? Huh.
Yeah, it's not gonna be simple.
Huh. You doing, Shiloh? You supervising? You what? Yeah. There's the other helper down here.
Yep. Cover looks just right. The cover looks just right.
Good.
Got a little wind tunnel in here.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Number 6.
I brought those out.
Okay.
Those miscellaneous ones and then those.
Oh.
That first box there is some long use.
I'm looking for some action here.
What?
Looking for some action shots here. So here's one now.
We're gonna put a board up,
Okay, we get a board on.
small.
Why do you put a small one there instead of a big one next?
Well, we want to align the big ones on studs.
Oh,
We need a little spacer in it to get started right with the.
I see.
Once you get the cyanide out and then find out
They could eat the tapioca part. So
There's one right there above on that cap one.
with this one.
Yeah, that'll do.
We use that one too. So why don't they call it tapioca then?
They some weird word for the plant, but it's a plant.
Well, I guess I can hang my screwdriver right there somewhere, maybe.
I thought the bottom panel was some other material. It's not.
What?
The bottom panel was some other material.
That's fine.
Really?
It's a little different, isn't it?
No, I can't.
These are aluminum.
It looks aluminum.
Yeah. And the other.
I have to go.
Not aluminum.
Aluminum. Never mind. I always had trouble with that word. If you did them all tiny like that, then you could get them up there easier.
Tied the top and bottom and gaped in the middle. I guess that couldn't help.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah.
Newer one?
That bit.
Huh.
A little bit smaller. Yeah, let's check that and see if it's reading it. You see? Yeah, it's not too great.
Looks like the gap is big here in the middle.
Yeah, I don't know why it's
Ends.
gapped in the middle. Would leave it in Salt Street.
Ends are tightly gapped in this spot.
That shows me to come away from that wall down there.
Do that.
Will it move now or not?
Yeah, it pulled out about 1/16 of an inch. I can get an eighth of it just by pulling over.
Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be, it's really, to get it level, it's gonna become way over.
Oh.
I don't know.
Why don't we check it out or not?
Hey Marco, what you doing? Not much. Hi Warfus, what you doing? Waiting for something to eat, as always. Not supper time yet though. We decided we'd let Sarah come out and take a walk because she's gonna get her hip fixed tomorrow. There's no food up there yet, Marco. I'm sorry, no food. Not supper time yet. You can go up there, but there's nothing up there. No food. So we're going to take a picture of Sarah walking. And then after she gets her new hip, she's going to walk so much better. Right, girlie?
Right.
So we're going to go get a new hip fixed tomorrow.
Yay, that's good.
Yep, that's good. Okay, you don't have to go too far. You can walk that way.
Hi, Sara. Hi, Dad.
Walk over there by Dad.
Oh, yeah, cute. I'm saying walk now. Yeah. I'm been mowing. Oh, that's good.
Okay, you can walk back this way.
It's my dog. Hi, Shiloh.
Oh yeah. Eh, you can tell if you're in here or not. Okay, tell me something. What is today?
It is Monday.
June 28th. Surgery's over. Sarah's walking on her toe with her walker, so we thought we'd film that, right?
Right. So you over.
And she's got a brace on. Can you hold your pant? Here.
I got a brace
Just
on.
pull it up a little bit, and we'll get a picture of the brace here. Hang on a second. We'll show off that brace here. Here, hold it right there. Okay. There we go. There's the brace. Okay, Sarah's going to walk, so we just to see how well she does with the walker. She has to stay on her toe. She can't go flat-footed. Step on your toe, sweetie. That's it. Walk with you. That's a girl. She has to do that till we go back in July, right?
Right.
July 29th. Okay, walk down that way a little bit, sweetie. Look where I'm pointing.
Right.
Go down there in the shade.
Oh.
Walk down that way. Go slow, not too fast. She likes to speed. Sometimes she goes fast. We don't want her to go fast. That's a good job. She has these lovely white socks she has to wear. Keeps blood clots from forming. She's doing really well on her walker, walking on her toe till July 29th, and then we'll go back and see Dr. Closey and get that brace off, hopefully, and be healed, right?
Right.
Right. I'll just go down in the shaded part here a little bit, and then you can look at me without grimacing.
My rod is dirty now.
Yeah, I'll wash it off and go back in. Okay, you'll stay over it, sweetie. You're getting off the concrete. You're in the grass.
Ow.
Get back on the concrete. Okay. Okay, now go a little bit further, and then you can turn around and talk to me. There you are. Now turn around in the shade. There you go. So what have you been doing with this brace on your leg? What have you been doing lately?
I don't know.
You just sit
Sit.
and do what?
Color.
Color. What else? You watching TV?
Watching TV.
Anything particular you've been watching? Any shows that you've been watching a lot?
Clifford.
Clifford. Anything else? Any movies or anything?
And Mary Poppins.
Yeah, how many times have you seen Mary Poppins since you got home?
12 times. 6.
How about 8?
8.
Yeah. You watching it today again?
Yeah.
Sara. You've already watched it 8 times. Who's that behind you over there? The other way.
It's my cat.
Which cat's that? That Marco the cat?
Since Marco.
Where's your big ugly dog?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think they're spreading now.
You see evidence of spreading?
Really start with weeds.
Oh, back. Nobody answered. I don't know.
Did they know you were there?
No, I don't think so.
Ouch.
Quit coughing.
I tried not to tell them.
Yeah. Sarah, who's helping you decorate cookies?
It's for a Santa Claus.
Well, I know that's who it's for, but who's helping you?
Jay, my brother.
Yeah, where's he come from?
Okay, but White and Mom.
Yep,
I know. Oh,
yep. A long time since you've seen him, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I guess Todd's already done with his cookies.
he's fast.
Yeah, White and Mom, yeah.
I'm done too.
You done, Sarah?
No.
Heck no. You hadn't used up the whole thing yet.
Sarah?
I can do Netflix. I can do Netflix different Jay.
Well, what's on it?
Sauce.
Ooh, where do you suppose you got that at?
Probably White.
Probably Hawaii. You're probably right. You eating supper?
Oh, yeah.
You about done?
No, not yet.
Okay. You finish up pretty soon. What are you doing, Jay?
I'm trying to put my computer again.
Oh.
I'm following the directions.
Right. But you don't have that one part, do you?
I took it out of the old one. Hopefully it works.
Oh. Will you be able to test this out?
Yeah, I'm almost done. I'll put it in so I can turn it on. It
Okay.
didn't turn on. It didn't.
Then you have problems. Okay.
Kind of small. That's the
Yeah.
suitcase.
That's pretty little. I think Santa Claus came last night. Looks like he did. Let me zoom in. Yeah, there. Did you find the Santa Claus present, Sarah?
Yeah.
Right there, aren't they?
Right there, yeah.
Just like the cookies and milk are gone.
Yeah.
You left a note.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll be getting those up. Who else came yesterday?
Jay.
We're happy about that, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. We miss Jay when he's not here.
Decorated so pretty. I always like to stop at your house. Thanks for leaving the fireplace door open for me. You leave it open?
Yes, I did.
Can you sit down there, girl?
I'm very glad to see that your big brothers, Jay and Todd, are home this Christmas. I know they love you very much and look forward to being with the whole family at Christmas time.
Okay.
Sorry you have been coughing so much. And hope you get well soon.
And cold too.
Well, he didn't know that. You have been a very good girl this year. Helping your mom at school and working at Spark. You know about that?
Yeah, I did.
Did you tell him?
No.
I know your dad is very proud of you for fixing his lunch, too.
Santa knows that.
No.
Well, I guess he
He
does.
did. Try not to draw too many bad letters for him in Scrabble, please.
Oops.
Oops.
Santa knows about those bad letters you draw too, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Well, I have to go now and deliver more presents to all the kids. I love you, Sarah, and I will see you next year. Love, Santa.
And
Where do you think he went after he got through delivering all those presents? He's probably tired, isn't he?
Yeah, tired.
And do you think he went back to the North Pole?
Yeah.
He's probably sleeping in bed. He probably went back, told Mrs. Claus that he was so full of all those milk and cookies, and he was so tired, he probably unhitched the reindeer, and he probably went in and he fell asleep. That's what I'm guessing Santa did. You think maybe he did that? Probably. Yeah, that's probably where Santa went. Well, shall we see what he brought us? You want to pass out Santa presents, Sarah?
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you go see what he got us?
This is Todd. Todd.
Okay. She'll pass, but you gotta reach.
This is Dad. Dad.
Thank you very much.
Wait, Todd.
Thanks, Santa.
And this is Jay. This is Jace. Okay. This is Sara. That's me.
It's you.
Yeah. Okay.
Who else lives here?
You may open it now.
Oh, I guess Santa
Is there
didn't.
anybody else that lives here besides Jay and Todd and Dad and Sarah?
I guess Santa forgot me.
Oh, sorry, Mom. This is Mom.
Oh, good. I thought he forgot me.
Good Lord.
Thank you, Sarah, for passing
Okay,
me.
it's
Okay.
You can't reveal them too quickly.
I got a few things here. I got
Tyler.
present there for Dad, but I forgot one important thing. And then that was we don't have a coffee maker that takes a particular kind of coffee anymore.
Well, we can take it down south.
But we can take it downstairs, which is probably a good idea.
And we do have another
These
coffee
are both, think for the coffee from Hawaii.
I appreciate that.
For everyone's enjoyment, there are 2 boxes of Hawaiian candy underneath the tree there.
Those are my favorite.
You know, those could be small.
Thank you.
Sarah has a few presents over here.
Okay. Okay, Mom.
Yeah, Jay's got presents for you.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. He didn't get his wraps. Those are for you.
I knew Russian.
I'm not sure of Mom, I don't know.
Ooh.
I was fun.
Ooh, those look pretty. Smell good?
Yeah.
Ooh, cool. Put the lid back on tight. You can put some on after we get through opening.
Todd's present is actually wrapped.
Yes.
Thanks, Jay.
How come he's privileged?
Well,
They got shipped to the house.
yeah,
Oh, it came.
yeah. Oh no, that's not good.
This one here is also for Dad.
Both, I like books. Holidays on ice.
Holidays on ice.
That's good.
Something about England. The
Okay.
war, I think.
Just hang on, Sarah. Just hang on.
I got more.
Well, just wait a minute. Okay?
I think that'll
Jay's still
make that
passing
more
out
accurate.
presents.
It's
Okay.
a,
Oh, look, Todd.
oh!
What did Dad get from Jim?
Cherry chocolates.
Yeah, I do. I don't get you those anymore because Jim always gives me them. You need one of those.
It's a flashlight, compass, thermometer, magnifying glass mirror with some and a watertight storage compartment.
And it's small and compact.
The watch has one built in, but I figured it's just like
No, my watch. watch.
You got a different watch, don't you? You take that
Yeah.
climbing with you, and so you don't get lost and stuff. Your mom's from.
Can you hear me now?
Is this?
Dad.
Put yours on. Well, you can talk to each other then. No? Oh.
Todd, you try one. Okay. This says it's about to hire Sara, to Sara, from Bruce and Anita.
All right.
Needs batteries.
That's a Champaign, Illinois shirt.
Yeah. Scrubby.
Did you get Todd? We have some friends joining us for Christmas this year.
You may want to add, one more game in it. Locally, you can pick it up about $20.
How do you install that on the laptop?
I think on that one, the keyboard comes out and it plugs in there on the keyboard.
We gotta get the stuff
I can't
out.
remember if that had 1 or 2
Stockings.
gigs. Mine is 1 gig in there.
Sarah's having fun coughing today. This is Sarah coughing. Ooh, you got a Rome shirt. That's cool. Is there anything else in there for you too?
I think I got a roll hat. I got a CIA hat.
Did you really?
And your shoe.
Oh, new slippers.
And your
That's okay.
zippers.
I don't think.
Okay. What's next? Yeah, I used to sleep over there. Oh, this says a happy birthday. It's for my mom and dad. Oh yeah, mom and dad. Thanks, Dad.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome.
We like your time yet.
Yeah.
It'll be fun staying home with you tomorrow.
Dad, I want to say tomorrow.
We don't have school.
What?
We're on vacation.
Oh. About Spark.
That's hard.
Oh.
How much vacation?
Week.
All week?
Yeah.
I better open some. You're going too slow.
Yeah, hand soap. I'm not slow, Dad. I'm fast, man.
So what kind of fish did you have last night?
Fish.
Catfish.
Catfish. Okay.
Oh, that's a blue one. Blue's nice.
There's Mom.
You're welcome.
Fix Dad.
You're welcome. Didn't have any person.
I got two now. Jeez.
Wear one on each arm.
Yeah.
That it?
No, Dad. Not yet. I have more. Yeah, bingo cards.
Party bingo.
Play. Yeah, play a bingo.
Might have to play that.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sarah. Happy birthday to you. Get them all?
Yeah, then.
Yay! Sweet.
Yeah.
Flash on it. There. Smile.
That's a big balloon you got in there. Biggest one I've ever seen.
Oh, I know. I thought you could do it.
Yes, it's already snowed on.
There's bunches up there? Where?
I don't think you made that up. That was an envelope, but no.
No, it's just a card. Yes, it's May Day, but we're celebrating Todd's birthday today because on his birthday, he was at college. And it was on Wednesday, so we had to wait till Friday for him to come home so we could do his birthday. So we're celebrating Todd's birthday today.
That's good, Todd.
Sarah was on for her birthday. Jay wasn't. Todd wasn't.
Something seemed to have fallen out.
Hey, Todd.
Grandpa and Shirley.
Did he make that?
I don't know if he made it.
Does it say Hallmark? No. Okay.
$25 gift certificate.
Two.
Barnes & Noble.
That's usable.
Do I still have them?
No, we spent that one.
All of it? We have a little bit left on.
Yeah, you might have a little bit left on it. I haven't even opened that yet, so.
That was the bottom I just opened.
That's okay. It won't hurt. Did you say so?
Nothing?
I heard this big over there. Is that you?
Yeah.
Did you yell yourself also?
Yeah.
I think I did. Well, today's May. You ready to get that's kind of oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is this? Easter.
You put your contact case in there and you set it. You can set it for, basically it tells you when to change the contacts. So you can plug in 2 weeks, it beeps, and you'll know when to change them.
You're still gonna remind me though. What's the point
But,
of this?
well, because I won't always be around to remind you.
You probably find a way.
Oh. This is Todd's birthday cake. It is a blueberry cheesecake. So we'll see how that goes.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. birthday, dear Todd. Happy birthday to you.
Was that the last one? Okay, Sarah. where are you?
In upstairs.
You're all downstairs. That doesn't look like our house.
No.
Where is this?
Colorado.
Colorado. And whose house are you at?
It's from Shirley's.
Alright, you having fun?
Yeah, it's fun.
And you're coloring right now.
Yeah.
We're gonna get ready to go out for breakfast pretty soon, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay. This is where Sarah's been sleeping.
Yeah.
Mom's over here. And when Dad and Todd get here, they'll be out on Sunday. Sarah and I came out today. Well, I mean, we came out on Wednesday. Today's Friday. And Dad and Todd will come out on Sunday. Then we're going to go up to Estes Park. This is going downstairs at Grandpa's, Shirley's house. Down the stairs. I'll go down the basement later. But right now, this is their house and their kitchen and the dining room, which comes down to where Sara was. There's Sara. And there's where I was, up there. Okay. And then Grandpa and Shirley's room's in here. Down the hallway there. And then when Todd gets here, there's a bathroom here. Todd's going to sleep in the music room on the futon. Yeah. This is the outside of Grandpa's house here. So to take a picture of it. And pretty flowers they have. Oh, okay. There we go.
There's the supper.
There we go. So they moved into town, or?
Yeah, after they left the little acreage, South Canyon City, they moved into town. Had a little house along the way, and retired there. And that was.
That was just kind of retirement for them, and they didn't do anything in the town, business-wise
No,
or anything?
No. When my granddad was 80 years old, my grandma was 75 or 78 in there. And I don't know how they got over to Monte Vista, but my dad might have gone over to Canyon City and brought him back. Lois might have brought him over. I don't think so. But anyway, they got over there, and so I took him for an airplane ride. And my granddad said, after he got back, well, it didn't seem like you're going very fast. Only about 80 miles an hour.
Never been in anything that fast.
No, I'd never been in an airplane before.
Too. Wow.
My grandmother wasn't too impressed with it. She
really
went up and back and didn't get sick. So.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
He thought you should go
I
faster,
was
huh?
60. I was 17 years old or so then, and I gave them an airplane ride, and they died soon after that.
Did you go over there and visit much with them when they were over
in Canyon City?
Yeah. As you were growing up, or?
Well, yeah, especially when they had the little acreage out south of town. We go over on probably Sundays and drive over from Colorado Springs, and the road over there at that time was all dirt, and morning will get hot, and the road was dusty, and no air conditioning in the car, so you either put the windows down and ate the dust, or left them up and got too hot. So we were glad when that trip, there was only about 45 miles over there from the Springs to Canyon City. And then, of course, with
Go ahead and tell us again who it is.
Bertha.
Bertha? Margaret? Bertha?
Margaret, Bertha.
Maud.
Maud.
Margaret, Bertha, Maud. Flo.
Flo.
Ruth. My dad.
And Lois. There you go.
And, and Bertha was kind of a housekeeper and just a general work. She did a lot of cooking. And my grandmother wasn't very big, real small. And Annabelle was her name. But Bertha was just a good housekeeper. She took care of the little farm. And she came over to Colorado Springs one weekend, maybe a week, and stayed with us. I don't remember why, but decided she's going to have cook a chicken for dinner. So she didn't drive, but she got a ride somehow down to the farmer's market. And so she bought a chicken.
A live one?
So she had it tied down, went out in the backyard, she's ready, and I had an axe there, and so pow!
She just took care of it right there.
And it flopped around for a little bit, and then she got some boiling water and took all the feathers off of it.
Wow.
Cooked it up, and we had it for dinner, so she was an all-around
pioneer woman.
Yeah. And then
did she marry?
She never got married. I guess all the rest of them did. But
interesting.
my Aunt Margaret, the oldest one, well, they were all teachers of some kind. Some just one-room school teachers, especially out in the country. And I don't know, Aunt Flo didn't teach and Aunt Maud didn't. They were farmers' wives. Yeah, but Aunt Ruth and Aunt Lois went over here to Greeley Teachers College and got her certificate. Now Aunt Lois, the youngest, was I think she had a teaching degree. I know it was a 4-year college, but anyway, she was eligible to teach in public schools, so she graduated. So she got a job over at Wellington, just north of Fort Collins, between Fort Collins and Cheyenne. And she brought my dad up one time when we lived in Loveland, and so got to talking about her days in Greeley and at the schools. We took her up there and drove her by, and the high school had just then been recently remodeled and new brick wing added and fixed up, but it was still the same school in the same spot. And so she drove us, or told us where to go around town, and we found her old rooming house.
Oh, really?
And there was 2 or 3 other teachers were put up in this big frame house, and they had their rooms there, and they had to cook their own meals somehow. And I think she had gotten a little Model A car, and probably the only car in the area for the teachers, so they'd all pile in and go down to another town, maybe Fort Collins or someplace, and drive around a little bit in it. But she had a lot of fun, apparently, when she was teaching and getting around like that. And she went back to Washington at the beginning of the war and worked in the State Department, and was a decoder for the classified information coming in from the State Department. And worked back there, and then all during the war, and met her husband, who was a printer. And I think he worked for the government printing office, but after the war, then they semi-retired and moved out to Colorado Springs. And he wasn't in too good a health. I think it might have been tuberculosis, and this was a good climate to recover in. But they ended up having their own real estate office and did quite well, managing quite a bit of rental property, and kind of specialized in the west side of Colorado Springs, and which was kind of a small house, older house, older houses type of property, not real expensive, but she had her broker's license and operated that for quite a while, and then her husband died, and she ran the real estate for a while, and then she retired. And
How many years did he die that she was on her own there then?
golly.
Probably quite a few, wasn't it?
Yeah. You don't remember Hank, do you, Shirley?
No, he was already dead when I knew.
Yeah,
him.
I don't remember
Yeah.
ever hearing her that name either,
No.
so that must have been
Who?
Hank.
Hank?
Yeah.
Why?
I never got too well acquainted with him. It
You
seemed
can
like
throw all those away, see?
we might have been over in Monte Vista at the time, and they were there in Colorado Springs, but yeah, I suppose she was a widow for 20, 25 years anyway.
It is too.
Yeah, you can throw them all away.
And Aunt, remember Aunt Maud? I don't know how she got out into Kansas, but she got married and went out there, and her husband was a big wheat farmer and sheep. And yeah, they were up there north of Tribune, Kansas. It was just over the border in Colorado, and they had 2 boys, and
No, stop it.
what's my cousin's name down in Kansas? Calvin.
Calvin?
Yeah. Earl Pringle was his dad, and Calvin was the youngest boy. And he was, well, he's what? He's 3 years older than I am, and Betty's the same age. And that was Aunt Flo's daughter, and Betty's oldest sister, Jean, still lives up in Vancouver, Washington, but she's crippled up pretty bad. Has to have, I think she's got a powered wheelchair, and but my brother used to go over and visit with her frequently from Portland and Eugene, but
Very nice.
she's been widow herself up there for a long time, and don't really know what all her ailments are. But Jean and Betty, and then I had a younger boy, Warren, and then another girl.
Sarah,
named
don't put it in the
Liz.
drawer.
I'm not.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
so they live mostly around Colorado Springs. They came in from eastern Colorado and moved to Colorado Springs beginning of the war, and my uncle got Betty's husband our father got a job out at Camp Carson. It opened up, and he was on a fire truck as fireman out there, and they hired a lot of civilians during the war to maintain the base
Yeah, I
and
suppose, yeah.
do that kind of work, and then now Calvin, my other cousin there in Tribune, Kansas, well, it must have been 10 years or so ago, he fell out of bed one night and landed on his head.
Oh no! Did it kill him? Did
No, but it injured him, and he's
Oh.
got a stiff neck, and the doctors can't straighten it out.
Oh my goodness.
So when he first told Aunt Lois about it, he said, "Well, I got a stiff neck after all that." He said, "The only way I can see to drive is to stop at the corner, get out, look up the street, see if the traffic's
Oh,
coming.
my.
Can't turn my neck that way." He goes back in the car and drives off. He was about as much of a comic as my dad was.
Oh my goodness.
And get those guys together, they tell some pretty tall stories.
Stories, yeah.
But he and his wife moved into town a couple of years ago. And I think one of their daughters is running the farm out there north of town, but I think they've gotten back down into mostly cattle now and maybe some wheat. But yeah, his daughter's a crop duster pilot among ranching.
Wow.
He really got into it and stayed with it. But,
that's different.
yeah. And my Aunt Margaret, there for a while in Canyon City. I don't remember what my uncle did, Leonard. But he wasn't too well. But
It was Margaret's husband. Margaret's husband. And she was the oldest.
yeah, she's the oldest. And they got a little popcorn stand downtown Canyon City, right on the main street. And they open every afternoon, especially on weekends. And it was a pretty good sized room. They got a popcorn popper there and all the bags and boxes, and people would walk by or drive by and get a bag of popcorn. And so they did that as well as his retirement, I'm sure. But some place along the line, they ended up living in Denver. And they ran a little newsstand in the lobby of one of the office buildings down around the corner of 17th and Curtis, I believe. But it was right in the lobby where everybody goes to the elevator and goes up and down to the office. And they had newspapers and candy and all that stuff. And ran that for quite a while. And I think they had 3 kids. 2 girls and a boy. And Leonard's name, my uncle's name was Service. Leonard Service, and then it was Bob Service was my cousin. And I think he was the middle child. Neva was his younger sister, and can't remember. The oldest sister right now, but she died quite a few years ago. And Bob was in the Navy Sea Beat and was working mainly down in Guadalcanal, South Pacific, during the war. And with the building experience that he acquired doing all the kind of construction they did, he ended up working with a drywall installation company, and then he owned his own company. I think was a supplier for a long time until he died. And then most recently, probably upwards of 4 or 5 years ago, Neva's younger sister died of cancer down in Canyon City. And her husband owned and operated a fairly big grocery store there in Canyon City for a long time. And he was kind of a jovial guy, knew everybody in town and everybody knew him. And he finally retired out of that, and I think he's still living now. But,
Yeah.
quite a family.
So at this point, do you keep in touch? Is anybody that you really keep in touch with now?
Well, Calvin Tess is his wife. Always send us Christmas cards and kind of trade letters back and forth at Christmas time. And Betty, of course, is, well, more constant than we are, but we don't call once or twice a year. We always send them Christmas cards and letters along like that. And when we were going through Colorado Springs a little more regularly, we tried to take her out to dinner and stop and see her for a little bit. He did the same with Lois and when she was here, but Yeah, Calvin and Betty and I guess, and my brother, kind of the 5 senior members of the Teff family now that are left. Calvin would be the oldest, and then Betty.
How old do you think Calvin is now?
Well, he must be about 84, maybe 85. And Betty's within a year of his age too. They're about 3, maybe. I think Betty's 3 years older than I am. And Calvin's a little bit older than she is. But, and Aunt Ruth never had any children, neither did Aunt Lois. And Aunt Ruth was a school teacher for a long time over in Dolores, Colorado, out north of Durango. And they had a little farm over there, but Leroy was a carpenter, and a good carpenter. And after they decided to slow down and retire out of Dolores, they moved over to Monte Vista. And he didn't have much to do. He built a house there in town, and it was a log cabin.
I remember him.
Yeah,
I remember Leroy. And what was her name? Yeah, I remember Leroy.
You should have, because we saw him down in Colorado Springs.
They had a neat house. It had some, I remember little things in it and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
And they'd go out regularly and collect arrowheads.
Yeah, arrowheads.
Tremendous professional
That's right.
arrowhead collection. And they'd pick up rocks. And they had a lot of these filled with quartz. And they'd break them open. And,
what happened to his arrowhead collection?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Either Ruth sold it or gave it away. I never did hear specifically what they did with it.
Forgotten about them.
Yeah. But then after, well, when they came to Monte Vista, they didn't have any connection, except my dad was over there. And when he quit traveling in 1943 for the McKesson Robbins Drug Company out of Denver, he bought a candy kitchen. It was a little restaurant right in the middle of Monte Vista, and had a soda fountain and a sandwich deal, and a main lunch at noon. And then they had soft drinks and coffee and things in the afternoon. He stayed open until about 9 o'clock in the evening. Quite why there wasn't a lot of that business. But he'd open about 6 in the morning, and a lot of the downtown guys would come over and get coffee and donuts before they went to work. And so when Leroy and Ruth came over, well, Dad bought the restaurant from a German company, a German couple, and they were experts in making hand-dipped chocolates. And in the back of the restaurant, they had a big steam table that they could heat up and melt the chocolate out there, mix it all up, and get it all fixed up, and then they'd fix the insides and dip them, fix them all up. Well, my dad didn't want to fool with that. He just wanted the restaurant part, and so they split it up. And the original owner took the candy making stuff, and I think they were making ice cream there also. But anyway, they moved it down to another building in the south part of town there, and then they got ready to retire a few years later. And Ruth and Leroy came to town, so they bought the ice cream candy company, and they made the hand-dipped chocolates down there. And Aunt Ruth did most of that after the chocolate was mixed up, and then Leroy would make all the ice cream. And they had those big 5-gallon steel cans, and he'd do all the mixing, the big ice cream machines, and deliver it around to other stores and places in town. And they had that for a good 5-6 years, and then thought they should retire, and so they sold it. And moved to Colorado Springs and got an apartment, kind of a high-rise building in the south edge of the Springs there, and pretty nice location right against the foothills, and nice place. And ended up there. Leroy died first, and then Aunt Ruth went out and stayed with my cousin Elizabeth, and she wasn't too well, but had a little tiny house, and Aunt Ruth helped her with her expenses if she could stay there, and she did till she died.
Where was that located?
Well, near Betty's place, but it was in Colorado Springs, and it's kind of west side of town, just off of the road over to Manitou from the Springs. Betty lived just a few blocks away, where she still lives. And then Liz got sick and real bad. She smoked awful heavy. Must have ended up with lung cancer, among other things. So finally, she moved over and stayed with Betty, who has a little house, and but found room for her in there and took care of her. Betty was quite a worker too. After her husband died, and her kids were out on their own, then long about time, Hewlett Packard opened a printed circuit company there in the west side of town, and she got a job working in the printed circuit department, I think, on the installation of the components and the boards. And she worked there probably for 20 years, and got a good job, and then she finally retired, and she always liked to sew, and so she took her sewing machine and talked to a couple of cleaning stores around there and said, I'm able and willing to do alterations for your customers. So they sent her a few, and they sent her a few more, and then she got a reputation of her own, and then she got a computer-controlled sewing machine, and 4 or 5 years ago she was so busy she wanted to quit and wanted to sell out, because all she did was mainly alter Levi's and jeans, making them shorter for people, cut them off. But she'd do coats and dresses and just almost anything. She was really handy about that. Well, she got a little Chinese lady she thought she could sell her business to. First she was in as a helper, and then she thought she'd sell the business to her. Well, I guess that didn't work out too good. She's still doing it, and still busy, very busy with her alteration business. Little tiny house, and for a long time she had a little VW Bug. She'd buzz all over town. Her favorite logo is Betty Boop, and everybody kids her about being Betty Boop. And so she's got trinkets and pictures and stuff around on that. Real good sense of humor and really a nice person.
And her folks were
Flo and
she belonged to Flo and Mr. Flo.
Yeah, Flo. Let's see.
And whose was Ruth or who's Leroy
and Ruth?
And Ruth's parent, or which? Ruth was a sister.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Ruth was one of the sisters.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, she was okay.
Five, number 4.
Okay.
No, let's see. She was 5.
5. She was after.
Yeah.
Flo. Okay.
5. My dad was 6, and Lois was 7. Somehow we went out to took a trip out to Kansas. For some reason, I'm not sure where we went. Maybe we just went out there to see the family. But I remember, the first afternoon we got there, and brother and I were kind of wandering around out in the yard, and so Calvin and his brother, I can't remember his name right now, but they kind of showed us around the farm, and we wandered around out in the field and found a sheep that had died, and apparently if they eat too much grass or the wrong kind, they get real bloated. And so he would swell
my.
up like a big balloon, and that wasn't too good a picture, but they knew how to take care of it, and it was kind of fun to visit with them. I've got a picture somewhere of the four of us standing together, and then Aunt Maud and the whole family then was in another picture. But we didn't see too much of them because they were over there in Kansas, and we never got that way too much. But
You gotta make a copy of that one picture that you have that's got all the
the
got one
family,
that's got the-
I think
yeah.
I've got. Yeah, I can do that if I don't have
don't
extra
have it.
copies. But I got one that's framed. I think I've got some others that are not framed.
You may have sent, I may have one.
Yeah. Then in 1935, somehow my dad decided to take his parents to California for not necessarily the Rose Bowl game, but it was going on, one of the early ones out there. And so we went to Canyon City and picked them up. And I must have been about, well, I was 8 years old, my brother was about 4. And then we were in the back seat, and the grandparents there with us, and we must have had at that time, it was probably a 1935 Ford, because Dad always used those to drive on his job as a salesman. And they were pretty cheap, and they got a new one every 2 years, I think it was. Pretty well worn out by that time. Anyway, we took them on a ride, and I think it seemed like it's kind of out of the way. Maybe it was another trip, but we drove up through it seemed like we went through Salt Lake for some reason, and on out to Los Angeles. Maybe we went to Grand Junction and down that way, and on that trip. But anyway, my granddad had 2 brothers that lived there in Pasadena, and one of them we were able to stay at his house, and the other one was just a few blocks away. So Uncle Quincy was the one that we stayed with, and it was a real nice area, kind of a big street out in front, and the backyard, go at the back fence, and you could look right down over the cliff into the Rose Bowl Stadium.
Oh my goodness.
So, New Year's Day, and they had the big football game there, and all the cars. So we just walked out there. We could look right down into the Rose Bowl, and you couldn't see much, but all the cars. But we were just right up there to look down, and they had a little store. They always seem to have little stores, but it was not more about a 10-foot square little building, right at the corner of their driveway at the street. But they also had a gas pump out there. One pump with your hand, and the glass bowl was up there, and then right next door to them was a fire station. So for the week we were out there, my brother and I was always running around to the fire station and talking to those firemen and looking the equipment over and playing around in the little store. And then it would be my dad's niece, was one of the early policewomen in the Los Angeles police force. And she was able to get us downtown and a good place to park for the Rose Bowl parade. So we all went down that day and watched the parade and all the floats. And then we drove on back. But there was another trip we took, and went up to Wyoming because my mother's uncle, my grandmother Ross's brother, lived in Saratoga, Wyoming. And he was a #1 cowboy. He had the chaps and the old hat and the guns, ropes, and the whole works. And so I remember they lived in a little log cabin, and they had some rental cabins and places, kind of like a little motel around their house, and it was right on a fairly good-sized river. Now, it must have been the Saratoga River that comes right through town. I tried to find it a time or two over there, but I'm not sure where it was exactly. But we went up through there, and on the way into Wyoming, it must have been late in the spring, but we drove through a snowbank on the road that had been dug out that was about 10 to 12 feet high, and just 2 lanes on the road. It was open, but we stopped at a little turnoff someplace there and got out so we could play around in the snow, but mosquitoes were about that big, and they were just all over, and just black clouds of them all around.
And with the snow?
Yeah, right there in the snow. So we didn't stay there very long and got away from it, but it was it was real bad there with the mosquitoes. And must have been southern Wyoming someplace along there. But had a pretty nice little trip. Now, that wasn't the trip we took up to Yellowstone when I graduated from high school in the summer of '46, but we didn't take too many big trips. One to California and the one to Wyoming and Yellowstone. Were about the big one. And I think on that trip that we took my grandparents in 1935, we stopped by the Boulder Dam, and it was not quite finished, and they were pouring the last 30, 40, 50 feet across the top, pouring the concrete in there, and we were able to park in the observation point and watch the big trolleys going back and forth across the dam and carrying concrete, big buckets, and all the men working back and forth across the top of it there. And about the next year it was finished and completed, but that was kind of fun watching that for an hour or so before we had to leave. And, so those were some of the bigger trips we took when I was younger. It, were kind of interesting.
Yeah. Oh, turn the light on?
Did she turn it on?
No.
No.
I just wanted to see how much. 257 minutes. I'm down visiting in Longmont, and this is the back of the house that I lived in. From the time I was about, 4 to 7, I guess. Had a little playhouse in the back there. This was our neighbor's house. Herbert's lived here. 8th Avenue. And then our house, which was white at the time, it's this one. 318 8th Avenue. Little garage and little breezeway there. That was all open in the middle. My bedroom up there on the right side, little window. On to, this is Columbine School. I went to kindergarten, first grade here. This is the side of it, and this out here used to be our playground. I'm going to go around and take a picture of the front of. Here's the front of the school. This used to be the old post office. It's not that anymore.
No.
Okay, this is Miss Carlisle's house. Used to sit on the front porch while we were waiting to take our lessons. Had a big swing on the front porch there. It's my piano teacher. Started when I was 5. Oops. Okay, we're at Brownie's house, Grandpa and Grandpa Brown's house, and just met the folks that bought it from them. And I'll just show the porch here. Okay, walk that way.
Okay.
They've added some stuff around the house here, but there's the ivy, and that was the kitchen and the door here. Okay. Wiggins lived over there in this house, right next door to Grandma and Grandpa. And then this was the front of the house here. And the Schmidts that bought the house from them still live there. So they've done a really nice job keeping the house up. Beautiful yard. I'll take a picture of the flower bed down here. Yeah, she did. She built this little flower bed here, and she used to have petunias in it all the time. And she built this wall this way.
Okay.
She built this wall on here. And there's the house. Let's finish walking down here. Yeah, they made a family room out of the garage and then added the garage over here on this side.
You made that in pictures. Wow.
Over across the street was Central School.
Oh yeah, school, yeah.
Now, there's Brownie's house on the corner.
Oh, that's good.
Stewart. Shrubs have grown up a lot, but house is getting not looking so good. Elementary, and this is where I went second grade. It was blue then, and it's still blue.
Oh, wow.
Okay, this is third grade. This is my third grade. I was on the right side of this duplex. They were still building a new school, and it wasn't done, so we had a third grade class on one side, and I believe it was a third grade on the other. But mine was on the corner, third grade. Actually, at the high school. They were still building the high school, but my fourth grade was one of those second floor rooms along there. Here's the back of the church. We'll drive around and do the front here in a minute. The new church, it was about 7 or 8, we moved down here to this church. We built it here. There's the Carlisle Bell Tower. After Brownie sold her house, then she moved here into an apartment here. Okay, 5th and 6th grade, I went to Central School, which is right here. I was in this, not the older part down there, but in this part down here at this end. Okay, this is 7th and 8th grade. It was the old high school, and then it was junior high. This is the side of it. I'll go around in the front. This was Jean's Hamburger Joint, right across from the high school. Now a Mexican restaurant. Junior high, actually, 7th. Okay, this was 9th grade, Longs Peak Junior High. 7th, 8th, and 9th was here at the time. I just went here in 9th grade. Brand new school. at the time. Okay, back to the high school for 10th, 11th, and 12th grade.
Yay, Jim.
If this was ping pong, that'd be much better.
What game do you normally play? E-ball?
Yeah, that's usually the best.
That's the simplest.
Yeah.
And so the balls have to go in there.
Well, I finally learned
Hi,
that
Dad.
best way is just to alternate them.
Hi, Dad.
8 ball in the middle. And then put the one up here.
I guess I play too.
Yeah, I guess maybe you better just watch. Well, I'm running out of my tape. I guess I'm gonna.